Deep in the Ötztal Alps, over 5 millennia ago, a man met his end. Frozen in time, perfectly preserved, he lay undisturbed until a fateful day in 1991. We know him as Ötzi the Iceman, and for decades he's been our most extraordinary window into the Copper Age. We've studied his tools, his clothes, his last meal, even the arrow that ended his life. We thought we knew him. We had reconstructed his life, his health, and even his appearance. A robust, fair-skinned hunter, perhaps with a full head of hair, a typical European of his time. But what if everything we thought we knew about Ötzi was fundamentally wrong? What if his ancient DNA held a secret so profound, so unexpected, that it would force scientists to completely rewrite his story, and perhaps the history of early European populations? A groundbreaking new study has just done exactly that, and the revelations are truly staggering. Imagine the sheer awe of that discovery day. 2 German hikers, high in the mountains, stumbled upon a perfectly preserved human body emerging from the melting ice. It wasn't just a body, it was a time capsule. Ötzi, as he was named after his discovery location, offered an unprecedented glimpse into a life lived 5,300 years ago. His copper axe, his bow and quiver, his intricate clothing made from various animal hides, every detail painted a vivid picture of survival and skill in a brutal world. For years, scientists meticulously pieced together his story, from the parasites in his gut to the tattoos on his skin, even his genetic predispositions for certain diseases. Initial DNA analysis provided valuable insights, suggesting links to modern European populations, reinforcing the image of a typical early European. But science is a relentless quest for truth, always pushing the boundaries of what we know. As genetic sequencing technology advanced at a breathtaking pace, a new opportunity arose. Dr. Gabriel, a leading paleogeneticist known for his meticulous work, spearheaded an ambitious project to resequence Ötzi's entire genome with unprecedented detail, comparing it against a vastly expanded database of ancient and modern human DNA from across Europe and Asia. His team, including the brilliant young geneticist Nora, spent countless hours in the lab extracting and analyzing the minute fragments of Ötzi's genetic code. The goal was to refine our understanding, to add more brushstrokes to the portrait of the Iceman. What they found, however, wasn't just a refinement, it was a complete overhaul. Nora was the first to notice the anomalies. One late evening, hunched over her glowing monitor, she saw it. Repeated analyses confirmed it. "Gabriel," she called out, her voice a mix of disbelief and exhilaration. "You need to see this. The markers, they don't fit. Not with what we expected." Gabriel rushed over, his brow furrowed with curiosity. As they delved deeper, the initial confusion turned into stunned silence, then a flurry of excited whispered conversations. The data was unequivocal. Ötzi the Iceman, the figure we had envisioned for decades, was not the fair-skinned, hairy individual depicted in countless reconstructions. His DNA revealed a completely different story. It indicated a very high probability of a darker skin tone, much darker than previously assumed, akin to modern-day Sardinians. Even more shockingly, his genetic profile showed a strong predisposition for baldness, suggesting he likely had very little hair in his later years, not the flowing locks often imagined. But perhaps the most profound revelation was his genetic lineage. Far from being closely related to modern Central European populations, Ötzi's DNA showed an unusually high degree of ancestry from early Anatolian farmers, with very little evidence of genetic mixing with the hunter-gatherer populations that were prevalent in Europe at the time.
He was in essence an isolated relic, a descendant of a very early wave of migration whose genetic signature was surprisingly distinct from the population surrounding him in the Alps, and indeed from many modern Europeans. This wasn't just about skin color or hair loss. It was a fundamental shift in our understanding of early human migration and genetic mixing in Europe. It suggested that the genetic landscape of the Copper Age was far more complex and varied than previously believed. Ötzi, the supposedly typical European of his era, was in fact an outlier, a living testament to a genetic lineage that had largely been replaced or diluted through subsequent migrations and population movements. His isolation, both geographically and genetically, painted a picture of a man from a community that maintained its ancient genetic roots, perhaps resisting or simply not encountering the same level of intermixing as other groups. It forces us to reevaluate how we interpret archaeological findings and how we reconstruct the identities of our ancient ancestors. The implications are staggering. Every museum exhibit, every textbook, every documentary that depicted Ötzi now needs to be re-examined. The face of the Iceman, once thought to be known, has been unveiled anew, revealing a history far richer and more nuanced than we ever dared to imagine. Ötzi continues to be a silent teacher, proving that even after 30 years of intense study, the past still holds incredible secrets, waiting for the right scientific tools and the keen eyes of researchers like Gabriel and Nora to bring them to light. What other truths lie hidden in the ancient ice, waiting to challenge our perceptions and rewrite the very foundations of human history? The Iceman, frozen in time, continues to whisper his secrets, reminding us that the journey of discovery is never truly over.